Adams Show.
It's the Jeff Adams Show.
The Jeff Adams Show is
live from Lakeland, Florida. It's the Jeff Adams Show.
You're listening to The Jeff Adams Show. The Jeff Adams Show is sponsored by
The FBA, the Florida Basketball Association. No egos, they play for passion with heart. Great basketball. Check thefba.com for local schedule.
The Jeff Adams Radio Show is produced by Backbone Radio. Call in the phone lines now at 818-927-6205. BackboneRadio.com. Yes. Here we are. Live on a Monday. Let me flip this thing around here.
What are you flipping?
That Periscope thing on Twitter.
What is Periscope?
I don't know. Some kind of video thing.
All right.
Anyways, it's Monday here on the Jeff Adams Show. What a exciting weekend it was for many of us that have the weekend off. If you didn't, feel bad for you. Anyways, this is the Jeff Adams Show. It's the experiment we've been doing for the last 2.5 years to test out the boundaries of new media. And so we're here live at Lakeland TV at JA Creative New Media, and we're having a blast, I think. We haven't even started yet, but the pre-show was rocking. Got real, thought I was in seminary school there for a minute.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, but anyways, it was good stuff. It was very good stuff. So I'd like to introduce our co-host for today, Nick Pizza, just like a slice of pizza.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's like a slice of pizza. I like that. It's good.
I mean, you're the only one I ever have met with the last name Pizza.
Yeah, but there actually are others out there. We found that to happen. As a matter of fact, well, a young girl in Stetson University who came to be a part of one of our programs we were doing came up to me and as they went around the table introducing each other, she came up and handed me her driver's license, and her last name was Pizza, P-I-Z-Z-A, just like mine, Pizza.
Pizza. And then producing the show, holding it down, we got RC Kris in the house.
Hey!
How you doing?
I'm doing good. More calmer than...
Sounds like you did your homework over the weekend.
I did some good, effective homework searching. So it was good. It was a good weekend. It was an awesome conversation with Nick, and learned a lot.
It sounded like it.
Yeah.
I would give you a degree right now.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
It's good, yeah.
So on this show, we talk about miscellaneous stuff, whatever comes to mind, pretty much. It's, throw it in the blender, see if it works type of scenario. But interesting, I think one of the main reasons I started this show, because weird stuff happens to me that just, I don't know. I mean, and I would just start writing it down, documenting it. And, yesterday was one of those days. We like to, we go to church, and, we like to hang as a family. So it was a beautiful day yesterday in Florida.
Yeah.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Gorgeous.
It's like, the high was 68, 70?
Yeah, it was right there.
So it's one of those days you don't want to stay inside.
Nah.
So we ventured out. You say, well, we're going to go to a park. What are we going to do? So my son came up with all these ideas. They just started spring break and came up with all these ideas. Hey, let's do this. Let's do that. And we're like, no. And then, hey, let's go horseback riding. I'm like, horseback riding.
Yes, that's exciting.
That sounds fun. So we found a place. We pulled in. I think it was like close in between Lakeland and Brandon. We finally found this place, and we pulled in, and it had great reviews on Yelp and whatever, Google. And so we get there, and then, it'd run us. I wish that was a view. If you're watching on, if you're listening on radio, you can't really see that. But Kris just pulled up people horseback riding in the mountains. Well, not in Florida, but that would have been beautiful. That would have went down.
Know that.
Okay.
Stop destroying TV magic.
Yeah, TV magic.
TV magic.
So anyways, we went there, and it was going to cost about $100 for the 5 of us, and everybody had to ride a horse. So I guess the guy that owns the place was at the register. So, and it's just, it smells. It's got all this, obviously it's a farm.
Sure.
So we're waiting in line. It's pretty packed. And I guess the guides are volunteers. And these volunteers, we were talking about youth, at the pre-program. And no disrespect to youth, but I think when you're running a thorough business, you maybe shouldn't have the youth be running the show for it, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's interesting.
When you have paying customers, not unless they take a little bit more responsibility, but you got to have a leader out there.
Yeah, it helps.
Right? So we're waiting in there, and these kids are arguing. They're bickering because they don't want to do any of the work. And there's all this chaos. These horses are going nuts. And we're just sitting there, and I was already getting frazzled. I go, there's no leadership out here. And they go, well, who are you with? And there was a line, and they kept going to the people that would get in front of us. And how many people were with you? You got 2 people. So we're there, and no one's moving. It's just this big cluster. And there's this little girl, and she's had to be 14, 15. She starts bickering at the other guy. I'm not going out on this one. I just went out. It's not my turn. It's not my turn. And I'm like, looking, I'm like, this cannot be going on. Mentally, I was like, okay, let me just have a little bit of patience here. Maybe we'll get it worked out. Not happening. 10 minutes later, same scenario.
Yeah.
Right? And, the sun's beating down. There's no shade, and it's supposed to be an hour back ride, a horseback ride. And so it's all that's going on. And then all of a sudden, you ever watch the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah, sure.
You hear those hoofs. Well, I heard that. And not only did I hear that, I heard, help, help. There was a horse charging right at us, full throttle. I'm talking about this horse was probably going 45 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That he was booking it. And it looked like the girl was having chemo treatments. So she didn't have all of her hair. And she is hanging on for her dear life.
Oh, my.
Okay, and now mind you, when this was going on, all these youth were arguing. And then she's asking for help. They all clear out. And this horse is going crazy in front of us, bucks the girl off, and the horse came literally within probably a foot of crushing this girl that was on this horse.
That's crazy.
And I just looked at my wife and go, we're out of here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
we're out of here.
It was a good idea to do that.
And it said no refunds, but it's like, when those people say, I just saw a UFO?
Yeah, right.
And everybody goes, hey, everybody has their cell phones.
Right.
How come they didn't document it? Well, when stuff happens like that, I wish I would have documented it.
Yeah, I get it.
Because it would have justified me if the guy didn't want to give me a refund. I could have just, hey, I got this all on video, man. Yeah. It's going in the 9 o'clock news.
Yeah, there you
or
go.
Or 11 o'clock news.
Yeah.
So we left out of there, and it was scary. It shook us up.
So this is not the picture?
Yeah, it's not the picture.
Why are you sending stupid pictures like this then?
Yeah. But then we ended up going to the park. But I wanted to ask you guys something, too. I saw something. Let me pull this up and make sure I'm going to say this right. But we got back into Lakeland. We went to a state park, and it was really nice. It was a beautiful day. We went for a hike after all that fiasco. But I saw this thing yesterday, and I've never seen anything in my life. You've seen ice cream trucks?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, you've always seen ice cream trucks. Plays the magical music.
Yes, the beautiful music that gets you coming down the street. Yeah, I get it.
Well, we're coming back from the park, and I'm like, hey, honey, what do you want to do for dinner? We're trying to figure it out. We're going to go out to eat or whatever. And I hear this bizarre music, and it's like, you ever seen the movie Titanic?
Yeah, sure.
I heard this music blaring. I'm like, who is listening to is this like some thug listening to Titanic music in the system?
Yeah, really.
And I look over, and it's this truck. It's not an ice cream truck, but it was a popcorn ball truck.
Okay.
I've never seen anything like it in my life. I never heard of popcorn balls in the first place.
Well, no, I know about popcorn balls, but I don't know about a popcorn ball truck.
I saw it, and I tried. My wife wouldn't let me. I was going to chase it and take a picture to prove to you guys that I wasn't making this stuff up. Yeah. And it was playing bizarre music. Like anybody would want to hear the Titanic music. Oh, like popcorn balls. And it had a big popcorn ball thing on the top of its, on the van. I'm like, man.
Are you kidding me?
I don't make this stuff up.
No, really, this is just happening, right?
This just happens.
It is supposed to be why you have the Jeff Adams Show.
It's the only reason. So I can get this stuff off my chest. And
people need to know about this stuff.
They do.
It's very important.
Popcorn ball.
Here's a question right here. Who knew from our chat room? She says, who knew popcorn had balls?
Hey.
Hey, that one.
Hey.
Yeah,
I didn't know either.
Yeah, really. That's it. All right, cool. No, well, I don't think. Oh, whatever. We're gonna have to roll on that.
Yeah, that one. Exactly.
Yeah. Mhm.
So that's that's the stuff. But you know what? It was disgusting out of the whole thing. Back to the horse story.
Back to the horse.
This guy, I guess he had a Latino guy, didn't speak very much English. And the guy was, and I knew probably, I just had this sense like this is not going to go down very well. And this guy was talking and he was saying, we walked to the table, he goes, 1 second, please. Like that, just like that. Didn't make eye contact with us or anything. And he goes, 1 second, please. And then he goes, Jose, I said a hot dog. I want ketchup on it and mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. You got that, Jose? And Jose just nods his head. He goes, mayonnaise, Jose, lots of it. So I knew then that it wasn't going to be a good day.
No, it sounded like it, for sure.
So, Nick.
Yes, sir.
Enough about me bantering, but I had to tell you my weekend story.
Yeah, that's a good story.
I always do it. It's my rant. I guess I'm getting known for my Jeff's Office Rocker rants, but
You missed it because that was only 11 minutes.
That was it.
it was only 11 minutes? Great.
11 minutes.
I didn't lose my cool either, so that's good.
Your mom will be proud because you did not sound mad at all.
Yeah. It's therapy, Mommy. It's therapy.
I grew up around horses.
So did I.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, my friend, they used to actually bring horses over. His dad from Virginia, I'm from New York, and they would bring the horses over. They would swim over the ponies, and they'd take them and bring them back to his farm, and literally raise these horses and sell them. I mean, it was really amazing. So got to see a lot of horses. I was around at least 26 horses all the time. That was there. Plus my friend who had his horse, which was amazing. I was never the horse rider, although I rode.
Yeah.
I was never the horse rider. That was just not me. I wasn't the guy that did that. So
He was singing in those jazz clubs. You little jazzy guy.
yeah, I was more in the rock and roll. But yeah, no, it's true. That I couldn't. We'd go out for a ride, my friend and I. It was always wonderful to do it, but I always got this horse that just didn't want to pay attention.
Right.
And my friend Gary, his horse was named Ginger. She was beautiful, black, had the white strip down the face. Typical things you're going to see. That's it, like Black Beauty. The horse was amazing. So it happened every time. I'm surprised he even asked me to go riding with him because we'd get out there and we'd be a few miles from home and out in the fields or riding the back roads on the horses, and my horse would be giving me a hard time. So he would give me his horse, and his horse was cool because all I had to say, her name was Ginger. All I had to say was Ginger go, Ginger stop, Ginger go faster.
Right.
And Ginger would do that. I go whoa, and Ginger would go okay. It was really cool. So it really worked out for me on that end of it. But I loved being around the horses. I just they were just crazy for me. They were just a little crazy. I could tell you stories.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I forgot all about it. I grew up with horses. My grandpa was a real cowboy,
Okay.
But it reminded me, I told the story to the kids and said, and Stacy goes, you seen anything like that? I go, yeah, it's why I stopped riding when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
I got bucked off and I tried to grab the reins of the horse and pull him back in, and he popped back out and he kicked his legs at me and took off running. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, that actually happened to me similar. I was on one of them and we were riding around the fenced area that he had, and it went out to the highway, kind of like your 1792 whatever highway, and fence was there, and we came around to one side, and somebody did something. I don't know whether they smacked their hands together or they did something. This horse got spooked, took off running. The reins came out of my hands. We're running dead out towards the highway. I mean, just boom. We're going to run into the.
Yeah.
I'm going to die. I'm a kid.
Right.
But the horse got right to that fence, and of course made a gigantic, amazing right turn. I didn't, and went flying off the horse and ended up in a bunch of horse manure and
Nice.
stuff. Yeah, I was, praise God, I didn't end up on the highway, but I surely ended up a lot of scratches and stuff going on. Well, okay, enough. I mean,
So-
they're bigger than me. I'm not going to play with it.
Was your friends talking crap about you?
No,
Yeah,
talk
well,
about
Hey,
Talk about
I like that one.
That was always the thing that happened at that point. You never, it was never a good thing because in the end result, oh man, you really rode that horse, girl. Then went, hey, listen, man, I'm not one of you guys. I'm cool. I'll go hang out with the girls.
Right.
Talk about a crap landing.
I mean, yeah,
Hey.
it was a crap landing. That's good. I like that. Yes, it was definitely a crap landing. No doubt about that. It was not a smooth deal whatsoever.
So
Horses.
tell me about, how long have I known you?
Well, we go back to at least the year 2000, and we do. That's really where it was when you were in the band.
Well, how did we even meet? I'm trying to remember that.
You know, I don't know how you came. We ended up booking your group to one of our events.
Yeah.
And you came to that event. You were the front man. And the group, I think, was Alien. Am I right?
Yeah, that was after my rap group. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you did some rap because I remember that on stage.
Yeah. I think that's when I did whatever I felt like doing at
Yeah,
that
I
point.
think you might have been doing whatever you felt
Exactly
like
what I'm doing right now.
Right, pretty much. I should have brought the poster with me, but I showed it to you at the workshop that we were at.
Don't worry,
that
brother.
poster.
I got you.
There it is. There it is.
I got you.
There it is. Yeah, that's.
I
the
knew
one.
this picture would come right in handy
There.
for a show.
Yeah, there you go.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
That's the one for sure. You actually that was amazing, and there you are.
Absolutely.
Sitting there in the end.
Horrible.
That's Jeff Adams. March 15th. I think. Look at that. Look how close in time. But I want to say that was 2001.
Was it 2001?
Yeah, it had to be 2001.
That's when I stopped doing music.
yeah.
So that was like my last. No, wait. I stopped doing in 2003 because I played rock at Rock the University Universal Studios, and that was it. I was done.
Yeah.
Now I
Hung it
gotta
up.
ask a question before we continue. It says there the aliens, and there's like a picture of cartoons. Which one were you?
I was the middle one.
You're the middle one.
And my drummer designed that. I had nothing to do with that. I didn't understand the power thing. He was like going with the X-Men type thing.
Yeah,
so-
it looks like the X-Men. I was gonna say it looks like the the Deltona version of the X-Men's.
Yeah.
But that's always been me. I've never been too controlling. I've just been like, hey, just go with it.
And I have no idea how we actually booked you. I can't. At the time we were working with groups like Broken.
Yeah.
And you remember Broken, of
Rick
course.
Godbold,
Rick
yeah.
Godbold and and Billy Wright.
Yeah.
And those guys. So we were working with those guys. So probably somewhere.
Oh, and Scott, Ezekiel's Eye.
Yeah, Ezekiel's Eye. Yeah, Scott.
Because he was in my rap group I had back in 95.
Yeah, well, if you pull up that poster again, it may say who else was on the schedule that night. I'm not sure, but I know that's how we.
No, all it says is special guest with double M.
Oh, Double M.
Oh, Double M, yeah.
Yeah. So
I brought Double M to the fold, too.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You're right. And that must have been after, because 2000, I don't think it was 2001 when we met Mark from Double M.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, he came from that boy band, got turned his life around. And
Yeah, he was quite a guy. I actually ran into him at the mall a few years ago. I don't know what he was doing, but we were doing something, but whatever. Good guy.
He is a good guy.
Yeah.
But anyways, Nick, you come a long way. You've successful businessman. You've done.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, well.
But it's true.
And you've kind of, funneled, ministry stuff through that.
Yes.
Because, most people think when they get called to ministry, they feel like they have to quit the job, become a pastor. And that's not always the case.
No.
God equips you and gives you favor
Yeah.
to do extraordinary things sometimes, even in the world of business. So
That's exactly right.
And I remember you used to be in your old house that you worked at. It was gutted out. It was,
Yes.
and you had moved, but it was your old house you used to live in, and you made that your office. And then how big is the facility you have now?
We're in an 8,500 square foot building now.
Yeah, it's where a couple weeks ago I went and did the music conference there.
Yes.
Was it a couple weeks ago or a month ago? It seems like a couple weeks ago.
A month ago.
It was a month ago.
Month
That
ago.
time goes by fast when you're having fun.
Yeah. So you did this music conference there. You've got your business out of there. You got a recording studio in there. Well, what else do you have? You have like a
Green room.
a live room,
Yeah,
and
yeah, we have
kitchen,
that.
and
Yeah, we have the whole thing. Well, basically the business part of it, what pays the bills, is in about 2,000 square foot. The rest of it is all for the youth. It's all for the youth. In fact, we have all the way down at the end where you were actually teaching. It was a workshop, guys. It wasn't a conference, it was a workshop, but it's cool. But anyway, you were down there with Steve Sunday.
Yeah.
And you were in that room. That room is called Tech Bridge. And Tech Bridge, we don't, but the Tech Bridge people work with young people who are striving to get their GEDs, or if they have their GEDs, it may be college entrance, or business, just learning how to get out in the world and get resumes done and those kind of things. They work with youth who maybe wouldn't have a chance to do this in the real world that we live in. So, so that's there for Tech Bridge. And then you come on down and we have the recording studio. And then we also have the green room, and we also do vocal lessons and all kinds of things for kids. And then we have the bigger room, and the bigger room is where we put the concerts on.
yeah.
And that's the fun stuff. Yeah, it's kind of like living out your life. When I was a kid, I was in a band. So I was in a band all my life up until, all my young life, my teenage years, and into my early 20s, and probably mid 20s, and then I stopped being in a band. I still sing, but I was. That was
You got a nice crisp voice for radio. You can tell. Yeah, I could. Probably put a
love radio.
karaoke Frank Sinatra song and you'd probably kill it.
Yeah, but we could do that. Yeah, we could do that. If you can find one up there, we'll knock one off for sure. Dean Martin's really my fave, for sure. But I love, rock and roll. I mean, I'm good with all of it for sure. And I do now. I sing in the church. Basically that's where inspirational, more that side of it.
Yeah.
And I kind of just led by God. But back to what you said, you don't have to be a pastor. And that's really what happened. Everybody said, wow, you're going to be a pastor because I got my BA degree in Bible ministry and I got ordained and all those things. But God basically had me in a different place. It would be easier to be in a building and do it and have a congregation and take care of the flock.
Right.
But I'm in the business world. I work with automobile dealers. I work in advertising, and I work in music. So I think I always like to say God has a great sense of humor, as everybody does. But I really believe that because obviously he's put me in 3 of the most volatile areas of the world, business, and we bring Jesus with us.
Yeah.
And that's
You always
what it
have,
is.
man.
Yeah, well, that's what you're called to do, and you do it. And I don't do it in the religious way, as we talked about at the beginning of the show. It's a relationship, and I've and I'm very read in the Bible, but that doesn't mean I've got it all figured out by any means. It's an everyday deal.
It is.
Everyday deal. Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
And that's encouraging too. That's why when you we talked about you coming and doing the show, it's like I wanted that perspective because we've had Neil, and Neil's the pastor at the children's pastor over at my church. But I think a lot of people, and that's what our head pastor Brett's been talking about a little bit. It's like I think when you have a call in your life, because I always thought that too. And we talked about this a couple of weeks of trying to find your place, what you're called to do, and always like, well, I got to be a pastor, and I'm just like, I don't really fit that DNA.
Right.
I really don't. I mean, I would struggle probably in a church environment a lot because I like to buck and kick and scream and.
Yeah, me too. And that's it. If you put walls around me, I'm going to break them. You got to kind of take the walls around. When I worked in the car industry all my life, and when I would get hired, I'd say to you, listen, before we even take the job, you need to know who I am.
Yeah.
And if you put walls around me and tell me I can't do these things, I'll do everything I can to do what I can't do.
Right.
Because I'm going to do it.
That's what visionary people do.
Well, I think so. I think that unfortunately or fortunately, vision is a huge part of the ministry that God's given me. And vision is tough because you see things. Some lady told me, you're like the scout on a wagon train. And I went, okay, explain. And basically she said that, you go out and you're miles down the road and you see the things that are happening. Then you come riding on back in. There's the worst thing.
Yeah. Hey, but it's how that ends. See, you're made for radio.
He's good. He's good.
Well, anyway, so you come back in and you tell everybody, look, man, this is what's going on down the road. We need to be careful. We need to go left instead of right or whatever. And you have to convince people that that's the case.
Yeah.
And so in vision, God lets you see things sometimes that other people can't see, and you get excited and you want to go do it, but you got to be careful. So you have to. There we go. We're going to do the horses again. We got to hold the reins.
There you go, man. You're just plugging this horse thing.
He's good.
It's there. No, I don't know about that, but it really is. You have to pull it in. You have to slow it down, and that's tough to do for somebody like me. Yeah, and you're like that. You remind me of that same idea because both of us, if you gave us the chance, we just go, well, let's just blow it up. I mean, the Jeff Adams show, let's get it on national TV and let's get this thing rocking and rolling.
I'd be canceled. They wouldn't give me a shot.
Well, I don't know about that, but I like I told you when I came in, I really feel like you are the clean Howard Stern, and anybody who's not watching this is foolish.
Thanks, man.
Well, that's my opinion for sure, because this is a great platform to share a lot of good things.
Well, let's take let's see. We got 6 minutes till break. All right. I guess our famous Matt Baxter's called in now. Let's grab up Matt real quick. Hey, Matt, you there?
Yeah, Jeff, I'm here, man. What's up?
What's going on, man?
That's good, man.
How are you?
Not much.
You just hanging
Good.
Where are you at today? Are you hanging out in the park?
No, I'm at home today.
You're taking a home day?
Yeah.
Just had to call in the show, huh?
Yep.
I got this guy, Nick Peace, in the studio, and I think he's pretty close to you because you're outside of, you're close to Mount Dora. You're in Asatula, right?
Yep.
Well, he does a lot of Christian concerts down there in Deltona. You should have your mom drive you down there.
Yeah, you ought to do that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it is. It is. How old are you, man?
I'm 45.
Yeah, that's good. You'd enjoy it. You'd enjoy it. It's really good. You got to have that kid in you, and that's what I've gotten. Sounds like you do too.
Oh yeah, I took Matt to a Striper concert like 6 years ago.
Oh, really?
House of Blues.
Oh, cool.
That's his favorite band of all time.
Is that right?
When he goes on the internet at the library,
Yes, sir.
he pulls up all Striper YouTube videos. Just watches them 24/7.
That's cool. That's good. That's good. That's good.
So, how was your weekend, Matt? Did you see anything peculiar out there in the woods?
No Sasquatch, but he did say hi, and he wants to talk to you on April 1st and stuff, and we'll see what happens there.
I think you just let the cat out of the bag. Are you trying to prank me on April 1st?
That's pretty specific.
No, he just wants to say hi to you, that's all.
Okay.
Okay, April 1st, I'll make sure that I'm tuned in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I come from a Sasquatch breed. I'm 6'5" and I'm hairy. I actually shaved, but people mistaken me for a Sasquatch.
There it is. There it is. Yeah, 6'5". Boy, we're just opposite here. I'm 5'6".
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, Matt. Well, we got to take a break, man, but thanks for calling in.
Hey, Matt, good talking to you.
All right,
All right, man.
Take care.
thanks.
Bye. Yeah, Matt Baxter always calls in
I like that, Matt.
all the time.
All the time.
But he loves music. He's
Yeah.
one of those guys just love music. I took him out a couple weeks ago. I mentioned that, but my parents were going through some things at the hospital, and so on my way out, I picked him up, took him out, took him to Chick-fil-A, caught up. Good
That's
guy,
good.
man.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Interacting with your audience.
Yeah,
That's good.
but I've known him. I mean, he's not really my audience.
Oh,
He's,
okay.
he's
He's just one of those guys.
he's
friends.
just a regular
Yeah.
guy I've known for a while.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a quick break here, and we'll be back after these messages.
You're listening to The Jeff Adams Show. It's creative comedy for ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
Ah, yes. Tune in. Tune in to what? What am I tuning in to, Chris?
Oh, man, come on, really? If you go to your app store, you could go check it out, tune in. Download them, search for J Creative, and listen to us 24/7.
That sounds like a great deal.
It does.
Can you do it on your Android device, too?
You can do it on Android, you can do it on your iTunes, you can even do it on the computer. Search tunein.com and search for J Creative.
But why would anybody want to take this station with them? I don't understand that at all. But anyways, go download the app. Quickly. Tune in, baby.
I love this station.
Absolutely love the station.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are the best.
It is the best station.
Listen to J.A. Creative.
He's a man. It's awesome, funny, random, doesn't make any sense, but it's good.
Captain Jack Sparrow might have been there. KKK.
It's the Jeff
You never
Adams
know what's
Show.
going to happen next.
They always are coming up with new stuff, new twists.
The craziest stuff happens on that show.
It keeps me laughing.
You're listening to The Jeff Adams Show. It's creative comedy for ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
Hey world, it's 6:34 a.m. and I'm just about to start my morning run.
For thousands of years, stories have been told. Funny, sad, thrilling, touching. Each story has been told by a different person who's given it a unique flavor, their own voice. Times have changed, we've changed, but everyone still wants to be heard. Now it's your turn to share your stories with the world with your own voice. Introducing Hear Me Out, the new way to share the real you.
Join with me on Hear Me Out app, where you could be featured on the Jeff Adams Show with Hear Me Out. Just use hashtag the Jeff Adams Show and ask us anything you want, and we might play your audio clip live on the air every single week. That's hashtag the Jeff Adams Show on Hear Me Out app. Ask us anything, and we might play your clip live on the air. So join the revolution at Hear Me Out.
So hilarious.
Yeah, it's very entertaining.
They're entertaining.
I just like everything about it.
The Jeff Adams Show.
Woo! So many buttons to push around here. Can't keep up with everything. So we're back here at the JeffAdamsShow.tv and having a wonderful day catching up with my good friend, Nick Pisa. I mean, Nick's a good guy, man. I've known you for forever.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Good 15 years or something, right?
Yeah.
10? Something like that.
It's 15. Well, we're celebrating our 15th anniversary of the Youth Explosion this month, actually. Well, it started April 1st, really. It's kind of interesting. Actually celebrating the 15th anniversary of the Youth Explosion, Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And we're also celebrating our 18th anniversary as the business Nick P's Incorporated.
Wow.
So it's kind of interesting, all on April 1st.
So what was it? I was going to say, I'm trying to remember what band you originally brought in. Was it your first band you brought in, Scarecrow and Tin Man?
The major group was Scarecrow and Tin Man.
Yeah, okay.
That was the first one. That was in 2001, January. My goodness, I think it was January 21st. But I know it was January, and it was 2001, and it was a packed house. The place was crazy.
It's packed. The audience was packed.
It was packed. It was packed. It was packed.
You should call those guys back up and see if they want to do the reunion show.
Yeah, I mean, let's do a reunion show with them for sure. That's when we brought in Ben Glenn, the chalk guy, and all that kind of stuff too.
You know what's crazy too? I noticed. I can't remember the guy's name, but he played guitar for Scott. He passed away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember his name either.
But he was battling with cancer or something like that, and he just passed away a couple days ago. Left a beautiful wife and 2 lovely children.
Oh my, that's sad to hear. That's sad to hear. I can't remember, and that's sad that I can't remember his name because he was there. I remember. I'm so bad with that stuff. I think there's another reason why I don't have a church.
People's names.
My congregation, the congregation would have to wear name tags.
Yeah,
and they would. There'd be just no other choice. I'm just so bad.
What I believe that if we all wear name tags, it'll be a good thing. Hi, my name is. The name tag says hello. My name is.
Hello, my name is.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea. Let's push it out.
Yeah,
there.
I
don't know.
I need one of those. Because I end up calling people whatchamaface or whatchamacallit. What's your name again?
What's your name again? I know you. I just
great with the public relations there. What's your face?
Yeah, really.
You know that one guy.
Yeah.
That one gal. I don't know. My wife goes, "Who are you talking about?" And I go, "I don't know. My mind just stops working."
Yeah. My wife turns it off completely. She doesn't even go there.
Speaking of your mind not working anymore, I think we have a caller on the phone.
We do.
And let's see. It's Bubba from Alabama. Let's grab this phone call. Hey. Bubba, you there?
Hello.
Hello, Bubba. How are you?
Man, I'm cool as a moose. How are you doing, Jeffrey?
All right, well.
Crew and guest.
Hey, how you doing, Bob? It's nice to meet you.
Well, since you've got your own theme song, since you've been calling from the beginning, let me play your little theme song for you, all right?
I'm excited.
It's the Bubba Bo Beer theme song right here. Sums Bubba all up. Nice little package. So what's cranking out there in Alabama, Bubba?
I tell you what, your guest, Dick Pizza, has me thinking about changing my name.
It's not Dick, it's Nick.
It's Nick, but you can change your name.
What?
It's Nick.
You said Nick. I said Nick Pizza.
Yeah, and I thought I heard you say Nick. I usually can catch when somebody says the wrong name.
He said Dick.
No, I think rewind that, would you? Somebody rewind. One of the things we can make sure affairs. And
why would you
go back?
It's a good thing you called Nick because having the name Dick, I would never want to have the name Dick.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad my parents picked
it. This is Dick Nixon calling in. How are you today? I'm not a crook. Hey, I was thinking about something. When I was when I heard his name, Nick Pizza, I'm changing my stage name, man. I'm gonna be Bubba Bologna Sandwich.
There you go. That's it. Yep. Yeah, and you can hire the crew around you could be Mustard.
Bubba, when you When you call on the show, do you pace back and forth? Because you're breathing pretty hard, man. You like jogging or something?
I think he's still nervous.
Yeah, I had to set up. I had to set up to get good reception. And I'm missing Jerry Springer to watch you, for God's sake.
Oh,
Whoa,
yeah.
wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
I feel honored, I guess.
You've got quite the life, Bubba, don't you?
Well, I do have a serious question. You've been keeping up with my remodeling, right?
Yeah.
I've got I've spent probably $120,000.
Wow.
By the time it's done, my house is going to be worth $100,000. So that's my way of thinking.
It's not really a good thing, Bubba, to do it that way, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, I'm not what you would call a financial genius. Now. I may sound like a genius.
Don't you do taxes at
Obviously,
Walmart?
I do,
Don't you do
correct?
the taxes at Walmart?
I use drive-through.
That's good. That's good.
Drive-through tax. But I'd like to ask Nick a question if you're not too jealous with me talking to him.
No, man, go ahead. Go ahead. He's here. He's a guest today.
Go ahead.
You promise we're going to still be friends?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Nick, you were talking about doing what you love to do and what you've loved to do ever since you were, in your teens into your 20s and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that obviously is that's a wonderful life, because a lot of my life I just wasn't able to do the things I really wanted to do. My work chose me. I didn't choose my work.
Mm.
And you also were talking about advertising,
yes,
things that you're doing, advertising stuff. I think for me, and this is just your opinion, can you imagine having a job where you show up, if you want to, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and just show up, and you guys just sit around and think of and come up with really laugh out loud TV ads?
Mm.
To me, that would be the greatest job in the world.
Yeah, well, here's the deal, Bubba. We work with youth, and one of the things I do teach is to do what you love. You'll love what you do, and you say, well, that's impossible. But the answer is that's not really impossible, especially if you start young, and that's really obviously the way to start when you're not in desperate need for money. And basically, if you love something, whether it is that you become, let's just say, in the music side of it, you're a singer or whatever, but you never make it as a singer, but you could end up being, in a band that plays at the beach or whatever, and making enough money to support yourself. Or you could be a stagehand, or you could get involved in some area of music and do what you love. And here's why, we teach that. It's not just music by any means. We talk to kids who are very handy, carpentry and that kind of thing. What we know is that the percentage of Americans who make that six figures and beyond numbers and are comfortable, the executive people out there in the world, the percentage is over 90% of those people are unhappy in what they do. So they're making a lot of money, but they're not happy in what they're doing. So what good is that? So it is about finding what you really love to do and really doing it. And if you continue to do it over and over and continue to do it, you will eventually make money at it, and you will eventually be able to support yourself and do things with it. But it is being dedicated to what you know is in your heart, and you stick with it.
Is that what you wanted to hear, Bubba?
In my case. Well, yeah. Well, in my case, it's obviously not. I mean, I wouldn't enjoy it just for the money. I mean, I do okay, but I think it's also good if you don't have to, like you said, you don't have to do it. You enjoy doing it.
Well, that's it. Enjoying it.
Well, I always said, Bubba, it's like, you're up there. I mean, it's time to, it's literally time to close down the Kool-Aid stand,
Down with the Kool-Aid stand.
Okay, one story about Nashville, and I'll let you get back to my show, Joe.
Okay, your show. Go ahead.
Okay, one story about, I tried to make it in the business.
Yeah.
I lived in Nashville.
Yeah.
Singer, songwriter, musician, and basically, the reason I stopped is they told me I can't sing and I can't play an instrument, and I don't have stage presence. So,
is that what they told you? Who told you that? Who told you?
Oh, it was several friends and professionals, and my mom and dad.
Your mom and dad told you that?
They told me give it a. No, they didn't tell me that. It's supposed to be funny, but you didn't go along with it.
I don't know. I mean,
way to ruin the joke. I knew it was a joke.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I was.
Yeah, if you don't have if you can't sing or play an instrument, you're not going to make it in Nashville.
Well, yeah, I didn't know if you were joking.
Some of them have. Some of them have.
Yeah, because there's people that actually, I mean, said what you just said, and it's true. I mean, they were trying to make a music, and even though you're trying to make a funny out of it, I mean, I thought you were serious.
Well, but look at American Idol tryouts, and that'll tell you. And immediately when somebody gets under, said, "But I know I can sing," so that is not unusual by any means. Finding what you love what you do. I do love what I do with the kids and working with them, but that took many years of doing stuff I really didn't love what I was doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Many years.
Yeah. I can understand that, Nick. That makes a lot of sense, and I think if the younger people do listen to you and take your advice, I think that they'll end up as successful as I am, Jeff, and yourself. Brett?
I don't think you're pretty successful, man. You've got that electric Easy Boy going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I could be.
That's right, man. And my own microbrewery.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
can't beat that. Well, Bubba, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Okay.
All right,
I love you, man. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, we love you, man. Nice meeting you.
Bubba Bowbeard.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. I didn't know he inspired me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Long-time caller, man.
Long-time caller.
Ever since the beginning.
Ever since the beginning.
Yeah.
That's what you need. You need those long-time caller fans. That's it.
He's trying to get over here. We're going to bring Matt Baxter in. Maybe we should coordinate that, Chris, where when Bubba gets here from Alabama, we bring in Matt the same day.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, I might even want to come.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
It's going to be a great show.
Absolutely.
Get those two in the same room.
I'm excited.
Magic will happen. I'm telling you.
I'm excited. I think it's really, really, really awesome for sure. But he had some good points. We got to share some good stuff.
Yeah, it's always good. It's always good when Bubba calls. Yeah. I mean, I don't know which Bubba I'm going to get sometimes, but, it just depends on the day.
I get it.
You get drunk Bubba, we could get sober Bubba. We don't know.
Okay, cool.
Well, but I think today we got sober Bubba.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wait, that was sober?
I think.
Okay, that's not what the picture looked like, but okay, I believe you.
All right. So what do you got over there, Chris? What happened to you over the weekend? You said something about your insurance.
Oh, yeah. Let's get fired up about that. So the insurance company, I came to Florida from California, and they were going to they told me, hey, insurance is going to go up because Florida has different laws, so you have to cover. I'm like, all right, well, fine then. But then I noticed within the last couple months that my insurance went up double. I was paying $180-something a month for one vehicle. And I was like, there's no way that could be, for one car. My parents are paying $300 for 6 cars. Makes no sense. So I started doing my own research and come to find out that I've been paying double for the last 6 years.
What?
Doubled.
For the last 6 years, I've been paying an extra $90. And once I confronted them about it, I was like, they were like, well, that's your coverage. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that could be my coverage. And I was paying $180-something for one vehicle. Come to find out, I did my own research and I started plugging in numbers. I was like, this does not look right. And I was paying doubled. Talk about getting fooled by the insurance for 6 years. So I started making the math.
You get the next 6 years free?
That was what I was telling them. So I was making the math. I paid them $5,800 extra. I was talking about being furious at the insurance company. Oh my goodness! Oh, that was.
So what did you call them?
I called them and they're gonna get back to me because there's something wrong with that. But I was, there's something wrong with that. You guys.
He caught on.
$5,800 from me. That was, I never filed a claim other than some window cracks, but that doesn't count. That's just prevention, so the window doesn't get broken. And I was like, wow. So here's just a tip right here. Check your insurance. Make sure you go that month to month because I bet you, they send out that whole, we're going to go up but I didn't pay attention to it because I had income coming. You know, I had that automatic income coming, and now I'm not broke, but I'm on a budget, and I'm looking over all my bills, and I was like, why am I paying for this? Why am I paying for that? I'm questioning everything, and come to find out that for the last 6 years I've been paying $90 extra.
That is insane.
It is insane, and
Did you guys ever, Chris? You may not remember this, but back in I think it was like the '90s. Remember if you cracked your windshield, like in the state of Florida, there was some kind of stick for some of these companies. If you hired them out, they'd give you a free steak.
Oh, really?
Really?
No, I must have missed that one.
Well, I remember one time I was trucking to Tampa or something from Orlando. I was going to a recording studio, and I had this old beat up Toyota FX16 hatchback. And it was one of those things with the motor of the windshield wipers. I had it since high school, and I was probably 22 years old at the time. And the windshield wipers were going like this, and they just stopped. And it was like pouring down rain. So I call him a knucklehead because that's exactly what he is. This guy pounds his fist into my windshield to try to get him to go back on, cracked my whole windshield.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's how I found about the free steak thing. Got a free steak out of it with the insurance deal.
Bossy remembers the steak for the windows.
Yeah, the steak. Bossy, that steak was horrible. I don't think it was a steak.
Was?
Yeah.
So who gave the steak out? The insurance company?
It was the windshield people that were contracted. Yeah. Contracted out by the insurance company.
That is interesting.
There's a lot of stuff with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those cracked windshield. And it's tougher to crack the windshield today.
I think so, probably.
It is.
But I still get mad. You ever been driving down the road and there's little pebbles hit you and they put a little dent?
Yeah.
You're like, what in the world?
Yeah, what happened? Yeah, and that's not, you're supposed to actually get that replaced once it does that because it could just split as it goes up.
Yeah.
Windshield.
Yeah.
And become obstruction.
Now,
I like that.
Nick, you said you're from New York, correct?
Originally
from New York.
Yes.
How long were you there for?
Till 1982.
All right. So, what do you think about the Village Idiots?
Here's
right here on in front of your screen, right there.
Oh, the Village Idiot. Okay, I'm seeing now. Okay, I don't know them.
You don't know them?
No, and I'm not from New York. When you say you're from New York, the interesting thing happens. Everybody says immediately they tag you that you're New York City.
Right.
I'm not from New York City. About 60 miles southeast of New York City.
Well, you heard about the big explosion that happened. I think it was on Thursday.
Yeah, the fire.
So we had the New York Post had this going on. You have these ladies are getting blasted on social media because they took selfies during the explosion. Now, this goes back.
That is pretty bad.
That is pretty bad. They were not the only ones. That's a bad picture. But they weren't the only ones, as you can see.
No, go back to the Post one. I mean, let's analyze this. Like, really? It looks like they're taking a picture in front of a Disney World ride or something. Like they're all smiling. Like,
you know what
hey,
it looks
geez.
like? It looks like they went to like Universal Studios and they're doing like movie effects, and they just wanted to capture that. Is that a bad idea? I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think they should be blasted because look at it. You got the police department there. You got the fire department there. What's so bad about taking a picture behind?
Well, I think there's a respect to it. I mean, I think it was a couple weeks ago. It was a couple weeks ago. What's the guy on CNN? Gray hair guy.
Wolf.
No, not Wolf.
Oh, you mean
the anchor?
Yeah. He's oh my God, his family. I watch him all the time.
Yeah, they come from the Here we go again.
Here we go.
They come from the.
That's why he'd have to wear a name tag.
Asheville, the Biltmore. He comes from the Biltmore family.
Yeah.
Sure.
Come on, he goes over. One of the things I loved about the guy is that he would go anywhere and put himself in a huge amount of dangerous situations for sure.
Well, he was up in Canada. There was a shooting in Canada.
My wife will text me and probably give me his name.
It'll come. Someone would probably say it in the chat room in a minute, but. He was in Canada, and he was documenting something that was going on in the street where a broadcaster died. And this other broadcaster came up and go, hey, can I take a selfie with you? And he let the guy up afterwards on social media and says, you'll never make it in broadcasting. You have no respect for broadcasting at this point. Because the guy wanted to take a selfie with someone who passed away. He was trying to do a serious story on it.
Right.
And he wanted to take a selfie where the guy died.
Right. Yeah. I think there's, you got to be careful. With the media, we have all kinds of opportunities to.
Anderson Cooper, they got
Anderson Cooper, that's it. Yeah, Anderson Cooper. Good one. Good comeback for sure. Yeah, he's good. He's good, and he was probably right.
I wonder if people are going to actually do that. I mean, like when they see things, they're going to smile behind. That just is bizarre that they would take that and just like smile. And there's people just smiling at the picture like, hey, look, people are probably dying. Let's take a picture and smile for Facebook.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah. You know, it's amazing what goes through people's minds. For sure. We were having that in the pre-show, you know, a little bit of that going on as well. So, you know, what gears people to do what they do?
I don't know.
Seriously.
It's the world of social media, man. People are just nuts with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
how about right here?
Oh, man.
You talk about belly dancing.
Yeah, well, that's
why? Why would you put yourself out there to do that in the first place?
Now, will you take a selfie with her?
I
would.
Is she pregnant?
Yeah.
I thought so. Okay. Well, I guess we'd have to either be about. Well,
Is she
I'm
pregnant?
not seeing that.
Man.
Because, I mean, that thing's not right on top of me.
Dude,
you would be seeing it better than me.
You come into Polk County for an hour, and you think this is a norm.
I think maybe just
I saw that in the corner, and she said she was fat.
Hey, listen, you know, I mean, obviously, many others have taken pictures like that pregnant, and so, you know, I guess would I take a selfie with her? No. No.
Now, is this one going too far? I think it's pretty cool.
What is going on
He's
there?
recreating the scene from Lion King.
Yeah, that's not a big deal.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
You know, you got his on a onesie, and I think that's cute. You know, that's pretty.
Where did you
cute.
get this one from?
Somebody sent it to me on Facebook.
Oh.
They sent it to me and like, hey, do you like this? I'm like, oh yeah, I would like that.
People do anything for
hits
and
hits.
attention.
It's all about hits now. It's all about hits.
Now,
I mean,
here
how many
we
hits
go.
can we get on the
You know, it goes back
YouTube?
to the talking about youth that we talked about earlier.
Yes.
Now,
wowzers.
this is spring break, Panama City.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about this, Nick? I'll take it to you.
What do I think about it?
Yeah, he's you know, what's that, chicken? How do you say that? Like,
Yeah, I don't know
almost
what
about
do
to
they
do a chicken fat. They're pouring Coors Light on that tube right there.
They're pouring down the beer,
Yeah.
and he's sucking it down, and she's pouring it down the tube.
Is that a good influence?
It's probably not a good influence.
Yeah, I think so.
But you know, before we throw rocks and stones at that, though, Jeff.
I was going to throw the rock and stones.
I mean, I grew up. I mean, I was a teenager, for sure. Somebody said to me the other day, you know, and I got to drive back to Deltona. So before I get too crazy here, God continue to watch over me. But I've never had a speeding ticket in my life. But I said to them, that doesn't mean I didn't ever speed.
Yeah.
I mean, so, you know, it just means that I either didn't get caught, or when I did get caught, I was able to talk my way out of it. So when it comes to what did I do when I was 16, 17, 18, heck, what did I do when I was 12, 13, now probably not 12, but 13, 14, 15, you know, not all that stuff I would be totally proud about, but it surely built who I am today.
You know, I remember Daytona Beach used to be the hot spot for spring break.
Not anymore.
MTV used to come out there.
Yeah, they did.
And that picture totally reminded me of that. I went out there because I would want to go see the people from Yo MTV Raps. And I remember I've had 3 different occasions sightings of this guy. You know Gilbert Godfrey?
Yes.
Okay, so first time I was a teenager, I met him. And I went up to him and I did the invitation. I go, oh, Gilbert Godfrey, how you doing? He goes, hi, how you doing? And he left.
Yeah.
Now, years later, I was in New York, and I was in the same building with him. You can hear the voice. It's just, you know it's him.
Yeah.
Then, again, the third place, I was in we were working with this band called Seven Dust. They had played Carson Daly.
Yeah, no.
And so we went to the Palm. You know, the lawyer was taking us to the Palm. And then, lo and behold, in the Palm restaurant in New York City, you hear the voice. It's Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah.
Like talking, oh, you wouldn't believe it. Ah.
Yeah, that's
it's just
it.
bizarre. Every time I think of that now, I associate spring break with Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah, that's interesting. He was just on the Donald Trump show, too. He was.
He's doing his own podcast now, too.
Yeah, well, he just did that you know, being an assistant there with Donald Trump.
Maybe. What is that saying in the chat room? Maybe she's packing popcorn balls. Hey, way to tie that in there.
Exactly.
Maybe she is. Yeah, maybe there's popcorn balls.
Here's my last clip
Yeah.
for the day, since we were talking about horses and stuff like that. Let me show you the sheep drone. Now, you heard about a pig being
Yeah, so the people listen to the radio.
Yeah.
It's a drone flying over sheep.
and the drone is actually guiding the sheep. Now, I think that is pretty amazing when it
That
comes
is
to
pretty
technology.
amazing.
Yeah. But are we going to become too dependent of technology?
I think we already are.
You think we are?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I think it's pretty awesome. We don't need no more pigs or dogs anymore.
No.
All we need is a drone, and
Or you're going to need an extra battery because what is the battery life on that drone? As we'll go to NAB in 2 weeks. You'll see all those things at NAB, the new, latest and greatest drones. But those things only last probably 45 minutes in the air. Then you have to bring them down and recharge them.
that's fine because all you got to do is guide him to the place.
So you're seeing something positive on the drones. Is there anything that you see negative with drone?
Other than the privacy. Other than that, I don't see anything wrong with it. It's just like, I bet you when cell phones came out, you had the society was like, oh, that's going to be a bad idea. But look at it right now. I was talking about it over the weekend via Hear Me Out. I got to send, who thought that you had a fax machine, you had a video camera, you had a camera, you had a social media on here. I got to send 7 pages of a fax through my phone.
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
It's no longer, this is actually the iPhone 6 Plus. I think that's where we are. I lost the count.
Plus.
It's literally a computer. You don't need a computer anymore. This is actually a computer now. And I think with the drones, you could go back to Terminator. We're going to get run over by the drones. But, I don't think if good people are behind it, and it goes back to what we talked about the pre-show. It all goes back to the pre-show. You don't have to be a Christian person to be a good person. You just have to have the right principles. If the people with the right principles are behind our technology, where they should be, then it's going to be good. Just like we're talking about Meerkat and Periscope. Those are 2 amazing apps. They're going to ruin Jeff's career, but those are 2 amazing apps. Where you could broadcast out of anywhere in the world. But then you also have that dirty mind when it comes to let me stream some porn. Really.
Right.
So that's where it comes up to your principles and where you get your principles. That is going to, and let's tie in also the go-giver. You got to get those good principles, be authentic, send that positive. Because if you think about it, the light outshines the darkness. So if you have that positive things coming out like we're trying to do here, just send out massive of positive, just like we cover. Mondays are usually our dark Mondays. We try to bring some news with some entertainment. But if we just overflow with good things, then people will not be like, well, this is boring. Let me go turn to, xxx.com because that's more entertaining than watching the Jeff Adams Show.
Exactly.
So that's what we try to do here. We try to overflow with good, and it goes back to you, what you're doing in Deltona. Hopefully we could, record some of that stuff and air it down here so people can see what we're doing.
Yeah, well, and actually, I can send you some of the video that we're doing over there for sure. And and speaking of that, I mean, obviously we're in a major week. This is a major week for Christianity.
It is.
Holy Week.
It was Palm Sunday yesterday.
Yeah,
and we got our Easter Sunday coming up in a couple of days.
Sure. We have all the way to the crucifixion Thursday night. And Friday, Good Friday. That's good, Jeff. I mean, I think people get confused about the Good Friday. Why do we call it Good Friday?
Yeah.
I think so. I think they do. I think that's why do you call it Good Friday?
Because it's Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday. TGI Friday, right? Is that what we call it?
No, thank goodness. We
that's
have
good though. I like that, but
thank goodness we have a God that came down and made it all right.
Amen. Yeah, He made it right. He did. He showed us how to do it, and I think that's the thing that I try to really bring across when I'm talking to kids is if you look at Jesus, as much man as he was God, as much God as he was man. He showed us what the perfect human being was to be like. The perfect human being. He lived the perfect human life and what we were supposed to live. And he showed that and everything. And most people, I'm going to share this. I'm going to get too religious on you here because it's not religious, but I'm not going to get to whatever you want to call it on there. But, one of the things that Jesus did that nobody really, you hear him talk about it, but maybe not as much as they ought to. It's always been about somebody coming up and asking Jesus for healing, asking him for sight, whatever it may have been. But there was a woman, and I think this shows who God is. There was a widow at a funeral procession for her only son. And just get that picture. Woman, widow, at the funeral procession for her only son. So she's already a widow. She's already lost her husband. And now she's at a funeral procession for her only son. Here's Jesus with a whole bunch of people. Now you get Nick's way of telling the story. A bunch of people, they're all going down the road. And Jesus sees this. He leaves what they say the throng of people, the lots of people, and he goes to her. and he touches her. And before he touches her, the Bible says he was troubled in his spirit. And troubled means that he was upset. He was sad. He was moved. He was moved. So it shows emotion. And he went to her and touched her. And you know what he said? He said, "Woman, don't cry."
Yeah.
And then he touched the casket and gave her back her son alive. You know, she never asked for anything.
No.
She didn't ask for anything.
No, she didn't.
So he was moved by what he saw. And that's God. That's our God. Our God is so moved with us. That's exactly how he acts. I mean, that's what it is. And the Bible over and over again tells us how God loves us and what he's desiring for us. And so, you know, not even just the New Testament, because when we go back to Jeremiah in chapter 22, and here I am preaching that, y'all.
No, it's good.
That's good.
But Jeremiah 22, he talks about King Josiah. And we all know, if you know who King Josiah is, King Josiah was a king at 8 years old. I love using that story for kids. 8 years old, he was a king. He found the scriptures, and through a scribe read the scriptures. He tore his robe. He was very upset because they weren't following, the Israelites were not following the way of God. So he tore down all the Baal altars and all the junk, and he read to the people. He cried out to the people and said, "We need to get back to God, back to where we belong." So he did all of those things, and Josiah became a great king and a longevity king. He was around for a long, long time. And the Bible says in Jeremiah, the prophet Jeremiah, what made Josiah, basically, depending on what rendition you're reading, but the NLT, the New Living Translation, is really good. What made this king last so long? Was it because he had this amazing palace and all this money and all this stuff that he had? And God said it was because he took care of the people. He gave justice to the people, and he gave justice to the needy and poor. Now, let me continue. Probably the only place I know in the Bible that says...
We got 1 minute till we got to go.
Okay. God says, "Is this not what it means to know me?"
Exactly. And then that's
given to the needy and poor, taking care of people, being a political leader and actually doing good for people.
Yeah. It's good that you say that, because before we leave that 1 minute, talk about what's happening on the April 17 and 18, because I got that email with the picture.
Yeah, that's Doubtless Faith. It's our apologetics conference. This is a great place to come, and if you're a Christian or if you're thinking about Christianity, this is going to be an amazing conference. I've never done conferences before. This is my first one, partner with others to do this, bringing in the group Doubtless Faith Ministries. And really, it's just being able to defend your faith, why you believe what you believe, and how you can defend it and know that it is actual, how you know the Bible is truth. And you can stand up to that truth. So if you have any questions about the Bible, you have any questions about your faith or what is going on in the Christian faith, this is a great time to come in and check this out. Is it really truth? Was Jesus really God? Did Jesus really raise from the dead? Were all those things there? Is it real? And that's what this is all about. It's apologetics. It's not apologizing for anything, by the way. That's just a name that was given in the Greek. But and the long and short of it is, well, I may be wrong about the Greek, but whatever it is, it's apologetics. And apologetics is just about defending your faith, being able to defend your faith. It's going to be a great conference, and it's free.
Awesome. I like the word free.
Yes.
Well, Nick, thanks for coming in, man. You're going to have to come in again.
I love it.
And pretty soon, I think you have your own radio show.
Maybe it'll be alongside of it, the Jeff Adams / Nick Pease show.
Right here at JA Creative, you can have your own show.
Yeah, that's good.
So thanks for driving out from Deltona, as Chris does every day, too, to help produce the show. But till tomorrow, we'll be back, same time, same place, here at the Jeff Adams Show. Peace out.